Hello, this is Carrie Pallardy with New Cannabis Ventures. I am joined today by Greg Engel, the CEO of Organigram, a licensed producer in Canada that trades on the TSX Venture with the symbol OGI and on the OTC with the symbol OGRMS. Thank you, Greg, for taking the time to speak with us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right, great. We're going to go ahead and dive into the questions. You joined the cannabis industry in 2015 when you were appointed CEO of privately held Tilray. What prompted your interest after having worked in pharmaceutical companies for almost 2 decades?
Yeah, absolutely. So there were 2 things. I mean, certainly we were seeing a move from kind of a system which allowed people to grow for personal use in the past to a more structured and regulated program in Canada under what was previously called the MMPR. So I was very excited to, look to move to an industry which was going to have, a regulated structure, an environment. And also I had a personal experience. I had a sister-in-law who unfortunately passed away from brain cancer who used medical cannabis kind of during her treatment, and it dramatically had an impact on her life. So I was able to see firsthand what medical cannabis could do and the benefits of it. So it was really a combination of kind of tremendous business opportunity and a personal experience.
Great, thank you. When you joined Organigram as its CEO last year, the company was in a crisis. Have you ever been in a similar position in your career?
It was certainly a challenge for me to come on board. I mean, the company had just come out of a recall, and I looked at it as a tremendous opportunity to look to take what I'd learned not only from my time in pharmaceuticals and biotech, but also within the cannabis industry, and really look to shift the focus of the company to really focus on quality. And that's really been one of our mandates since I came on board. And, that's really paid off in terms of at the end of 2017, we actually received we received 2 product category awards at the Canadian Cannabis Awards for 2017, and the 6 awards that were provided, including Top Sativa. And to put that in perspective, Organigram had never even been nominated in the past. So again, that focus on quality kind of to transition the company has really paid off in terms of client and customer response and also the product we're producing today.
That's great. Could you tell us a little bit about the key steps you took to address those challenges related to the recall and how you really focused, like you said, on improving quality?
It's a great question. So certainly before I came on board, the company was already looking to, so what do we put in place to make sure that the company never faces a recall again? So there were 7 key initiatives which were very comprehensive, which included ensuring that all input materials were tested, that vendors were validated, that we put in additional security, including making sure that all of our approved pesticides, which we are able to use, and our equipment that we use for it is locked down and under the control of only a few employees. In addition to that, made sure that people understood how critical quality and the focus on quality was for the company. So that was the first stage. And then again, we've really instilled this kind of second stage was instilling a culture of quality, and we've brought in a quality management system. We're actually going through the process now to hopefully get GMP certified, and that will bring us up to a level that we'll be able to export into European markets. So it's been a stage transition into that, and it's been very successful in terms of our culture and what we're be able to achieve as a company.
Absolutely. Now, looking forward, the number of patients you serve has begun to grow again, in fact, quite rapidly. What have you done to attract new patients and really grow your customer base?
Yeah, it's a great question. So certainly when I came on board, we were very reliant on a small number of clinics. So 2 initiatives we put in place to expand our customer base. One was to make sure that we were partnering with key clinics across the country and making sure that we had a diverse customer base. And then secondly, and more importantly, is that we're producing products of a high quality that clients and customers could feel comfortable in and knowing that they were tested. So as part of our program that we put in place, we actually post the results of all testing for products on our website and actually help Canada review them in advance to make sure that we meet all the testing criteria. So before a client ever purchases a product, they can be 100% comfortable that it meets all the testing criteria. And then the third thing that we did as well was actually expand our product line. In the past, we didn't have, for example, a high CBD product. We had a 1-to-1 in our oil mix. So offering a 20-to-1 kind of pure CBD product has really expanded the mix as we see more cannabis-naive patients coming into the medical space in Canada. We're certainly seeing a number of those patients being started on primarily a CBD product versus a THC or THC-CBD combo product.
That definitely makes sense. Now, how do you see the market changing as adult use commences later this year? What steps are you taking to make sure Organigram is positioned for these changes?
So we're going through right now a rapid expansion. So our original facility was only 32,000 square feet, although we grow on 3 levels. So one of the things that's unique for us as an indoor producer is we're producing on 3 levels, so we maximize our footprint. We're going through a rapid expansion. We have an additional 102,000 square feet coming online at the end of this month, and then another 40,000 square feet that will come online at the end of May. And to give you a perspective, that'll take our production levels from 5,200 kilos up to 25,000 kilos, kind of on a go-forward basis. So puts us in a position that, to have over 25 million grams of product available for sale. And then we announced in December of last year, actually, through an additional bought deal financing that we did, that we added additional $54 million in capital to the company, and the majority of the proceeds of that capital are for future expansion. So we're actually going to be bringing up our facility to just over 425,000 square feet, again, on 3 levels over the next couple of years, and that'll bring us up to a capability to produce 65,000 kilos. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is, in terms of branding and preparation for the adult recreational market, we're certainly fully aware that, we want to create more consumer-friendly brands. And you've already seen a transition. If you go to our website, certainly a lot of the imagery that you'll see is much more lifestyle focused now. And we're preparing through a number of branding initiatives right now that we haven't fully announced yet for, adult recreational brands that really appeal to the consumer base. And then the last thing is we have a partnership with the Green Solution out of Colorado, which allows us to access, all the formulations for their edible products, their extract-based products, et cetera, and work with them in terms of bringing their extraction technology to our facility so that when edibles and derivative-based products are allowed in the market, we're well positioned to be able to bring those into the market in 2019.
Great. Speaking of partnerships, we have seen some consolidation in the industry. Do you see Organigram as being a potential acquirer of other LPs?
We've certainly been very active in looking at, our primary focus has been looking at not necessarily other licensed producers, but are there opportunities for geographic expansion within the country? And we're actively searching right now. We actually raised an additional $100 million this month through, again, a convertible debenture, which will close in the next few weeks. And a significant portion of those funds are to be allocated to potential expansion in other jurisdictions in Canada, because certainly we feel very confident and comfortable that we're producing one of the highest quality products in the country at our facility in Moncton. But certainly there are some advantages to having some geographic, diversification. We're also taking a portion of those funds to look at international expansion, and I think that's key for us as a company. Looking at Europe in particular, as well as some other jurisdictions around the world, and do we, not only is there opportunities to export into those markets, but can we invest and build out in the appropriate market, for example, within the European Union, that gives us access to the marketplace.
That's great. That was actually a great segue into my next question. I was going to ask about what parts of the world are most interesting to you, as you mentioned that in your recent capital raise, you were talking about international expansion. Is there anywhere in particular in the European Union that you're interested in?
Well, we've seen certainly, the different markets are advanced. I certainly think, when you look at market size, Germany's on the cusp of really becoming a marketplace that is going to be very significant, and it's going to set the stage for a number of other jurisdictions. I mean, we've already seen medical programs in places like Croatia and Czech Republic, but we're certainly looking at, if we're to build a facility or partner with a company that has a facility there, we need to do it in the European Union. We don't necessarily do it within Germany. We want to do it within a jurisdiction with access to the European Union that makes the most sense to us. So we're very active in that right now, but I wouldn't say necessarily which marketplace we're focused on in terms of, a company per se, but certainly access to markets like Germany are critical.
Yes, definitely. Now, how do you see your company positioned against your rivals, particularly the larger ones?
Yeah, so certainly, again, one of the things, what we've seen in Canada is a lot of expansion that's underway right now through greenhouse expansion. So we, again, with our focus on quality and the high quality product we're producing, today we're very focused on, indoor production and producing a high quality product, because we've seen in other markets, Colorado or Oregon, where premium flower still has a significant place, and there's been price protection on premium flower. So we're still seeing $15 gram premium flower in the Colorado market, even 4 years into the program at a recreational level. However, that being said, certainly, as I said, part of our potential expansion would be into other types of facilities or other jurisdictions, which would give us access to a possibly lower cost product that we would use for conversion into extract-based or derivative products. So again, we're positioned really well from a from an indoor high quality perspective, and we're actually, based on some of the market announcements that have been made, we're positioned to be, if not the top, one of the top 2 or 3 indoor producers in the country going forward.
That is certainly interesting. Greg, thank you for speaking with us today. We look forward to tracking your progress and catching up with you later in the year.
Great. Thanks again for having me, Carrie.